to the Scam Slam channel. I'm here to bring you content from both shady and some not so shady individuals on TikTok. Ever scrolled through your For You page and come across a sketchy scam or a questionable character? Well, you're not alone, and that's where I come in. On this channel, I'll be diving deep into the world of TikTok to expose scams, scammers, and problematic content to steer clear of. From beggars, scammers, fakers, liars, abusers, and awareness creators that you watch, I'll be here to share it all. I'll be doing it all through showing live streams and adding in comments where appropriate. Be sure to look out for those red flags. So if you want to stay informed on what's really going on in the world of TikTok, then hit that subscribe button and join me on this wild ride. Let's expose the truth together, and reminder, don't send money to anyone on TikTok.
God, I hate this phone. Hello, my phone is glitching. Give me a few minutes. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to restart this probably. If it doesn't fucking stop. Send this out and then I'll speak. I'll talk, whatever. It would fucking cooperate. Good enough. Okay. So No, so far, because it's very interesting, because when I called him like he told me to, he didn't answer, and then I called him late last night, and it rang, like, once or twice, and it stopped and went to voicemail. Hey. So he's kind of avoiding me, I think, at this point, because they're watching. They do. Feds, all of them, they watch. So, someone left a comment on one of my videos. I've said we know I'm a survivor, and I'm better today than I was. I'm still working on processing and everything about being in the files. They said, I don't know, I read all the files and all the victims' names were released, and they told their stories and your name's on it. Number one, my name was never Grace Marie. It's a name I use on here and what I prefer to be called right now until I prove who I really am. Number two, not all the victims were listed because not all the victims even know, and they have not even notified all the victims. Number three, there have been victims taking their own lives. Number four, how many of the victims listed were actually in foster care? Because I can tell you, the majority of the children that had been put in foster care are in fact victims as well. Like my daughter. For people to think for 1 second that all the victims' names have been released or anything like that, or that the perpetrators that are in the files and that's where it ends, and that it's not bigger than that, you are sadly fucking mistaken. Children in foster care? Myself? Yes. I did not, like myself, I don't remember being taken to an island, but I remember I have bits and pieces of memories, and the things I've talked about on here for the past 1.5 to 2 years I've been told, are in the files. Many victims do not remember. Why? Because it was so horrific that what I remember is not even near anywhere close as bad as the shit I don't remember. Many victims do not know that they were taken there. They will not remember. and they have not been notified. Many victims will have bits and pieces of memories, and things will start coming back to them that they don't understand. Some victims do not even know that they have been kidnapped or bought from their families and put in these psychopath families. The high up members are not the elite. The really high members up in this fucking cult are people that live normal lives. They will appear to be either low-income people or most likely, what do you call it? Not low-income people, but, mid-income or whatever. They'll look like they'll have regular jobs. They'll have homes that they're paying a mortgage. They will not, you won't know that they have money. And they will appear to be the greatest people on earth. And their appearances will not change like these celebrities have been. But they are sadistic as fuck. And the leader of this whole fucking thing, nobody knows. It's not it's not someone that's it's not a politician, it's not, yes, mid-class. It's not a politician, it's nobody that would be one of the elites. The leader is not in the elites. It'll be someone that's extremely sadistic and can fool everyone, and people do exactly what they're told by her. The leader is a woman. Let me give you an example, because I have a feeling I know exactly who it is. So, the woman who adopted me, Linda, who I grew up knowing as my aunt. Yes. Everybody seems to do what she tells them to do. Like, when I tried to unalive myself back in, I think it was 1999, I took her muscle relaxers, and I ended up in this hospital. I was there for about a week. 3 to 5 days a week, whatever. But I told the therapist there about her stepson, what he did to me. He raped me from 1990 to the end of 1992 or the beginning of 93, something like that. And I told the therapist finally I had the courage to talk about it. And so that therapist decided we were going to have a family therapy session. I didn't think that what was going to happen I didn't think what happened was going to happen. So it was Linda, Ralph, Joan, Jack, Sue and John, the uncle, John Howard, and his wife at the time, who, well, they weren't married. This was before they were married. Him and Shauna, Brad, I think they were all there. And then me. The therapist, we go in, and we're all sitting in a circle. And the therapist closes the door, sits down, and tells them what I told her. And immediately, because she was like, well, Heather says this happened, her stepbrother raped her for this month. Linda immediately says, that never happened, she fantasized it. And the therapist says, you're right, she fantasized it, it never happened, it's in her imagination. She went to all my appointments with me, was able to have me medicated on 30 different prescriptions, 100 pills a day I had to take. Yeah. I was kidnapped when I was very little. The leader will be someone in the family I grew up in. Alta Arian, they called her grandmother Hayden. The higher leader, the higher up, the main high up members will be the ones that keep the children in the basements, in the cages, and things like that. Those are the high up ones that they will not release. FBI, police, all of them are involved with it, including the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The Illuminati. I've been exposing these motherfuckers for the past 2 years. Mother Hayden, out to Arian, was Linda's grandmother. The woman that the person that I grew up knowing as my biological mother was Linda's sister. The reason I was kept in that family was because I escaped. I remember I ran out of the house. I was running down the street, turned and ran up the street, ran across the very busy road to the elementary school, got to the doors. Before I could open the doors, Linda caught up with me in the car. Got me in the car, beat me on the way back to the house. Took me in the house, where it continued, and then the next thing I remember, I was in the shower with her brother, and I was up against the back wall. He was up by the faucet. I don't remember but a couple seconds of that. And then, after that, all I remember is I couldn't stop urinating. Yeah, it's extremely complex, and there's things I don't remember. Like, I did not know that I was kidnapped until October 28th, 2024. The first memory I had of anything other than that memory, I always remembered running away in that. But the first memory I had of ever anything to do with that shit was I was sitting in my car in 2023 when I lived in my car. And I was getting ready to make a video or make a call or something, and it was like I closed my eyes and it was like I was in this dungeon, cellar, basement thing. And the walls were made of these stones, different colored stones. Like pebble stones, the smooth ones. So there was a pillar with a torch on it, and the torch was lit, and then behind it there was a fireplace, and then there was a pillar, same with the torch, and then there was a fireplace, and then a pillar and a fireplace. There were about 3 fireplaces. And there were many children. And they were screaming. And I remember one was... They were being cannibalized while they were alive. And that's how some passed. That's how some passed. I didn't know my memories were in the files. I didn't know any of that. Until 5 days ago, when I was told by complete strangers on my life that my memories I've talked about are in the fucking files. I'm being reported, obviously, because they don't want the truth out. Oh, 2-1. I didn't know till October 2024 that I was kidnapped and trafficked. I knew I'd been treated like shit. I knew I don't remember a lot of my life. And I think that with me, it stopped in 2017 because that's when she was okay with me not taking any of the medications anymore. Up until then, I was sleeping 23 out of 24 hours a day. And when I was awake, it's like very, I don't remember. I just remember bits and pieces. I remember when I was little, there was this apartment. I thought we lived there, but now I don't believe we did because there was no dresser, there was no clothes, there was just it was the apartment upstairs in this house. So you go up the stairs, you go into the house, and there's an apartment on this side. And then there's a staircase going up, and the banister it was either black or very, very dark brown. And it had one of those big balls on the end of it, going up, going to the banister. And this bedroom, you go in the door, and there was a canopy bed on this side. And then on this side, there was a bunch of toys, area to play in. And then there were stairs, and then a landing. So if you were sitting on the end of the bed, on the end of the canopy bed, you look right across. Excuse me. There were stairs, like 3 or 4 steps going up on the left side. And then the landing, and then the door. And I was told never to open the door, but I did. And it was a long hall. Or so it looked like a long hall for being so little, And I remember there were beautiful religious mural paintings on the walls on both sides. It was like beautiful, like blue sky, like lambs. I think, religious paintings, like for children, religious paintings. Like very bright colors, that kind of thing, if I remember right. And so I told the lady downstairs, because I only remember her babysitting me once or a couple times. Too, that's what's weird. But she came up with a flashlight, and she went in. She was gone for 2 hours. She came back and said there was no end, but the paintings were all along the walls the whole way. And the apartment was upstairs. Not a first floor apartment. There are these houses with these tunnels, and it's not where the children live, it's where we were taken to. To where we would be taken through the tunnels. And that kind of thing. It would appear that we would live there, but we would have lived somewhere else. So nobody would be any the wiser with people coming and going from there. Because these houses are owned by the goddamn Illuminati. That's how they do it. That's how they traffic the children and move them around without anybody suspecting, because nobody would know. What do you think CPS is really for? To protect children? They're fucking involved in it. All the agencies are involved in it. I remember being kept in a cage. I have a phobia of... I'm terrified of clowns for some reason. I remember being transported in a bag, trunks, suitcases. I have phone recordings between myself and FBI and police and Center for Missing and Exploited Children showing that they're shady as fuck, that they're not going to do anything to help me at all. I was kidnapped by one of them. I was never supposed to be taken. Because the truth is, the children that go missing are supposedly kidnapped. They're not. I was told by someone who's entwined with that cult because he was a victim and then taken to the different homes to take the children out of the cages, to take care of them. There would be like a cage, and it would be like a living area. There was like a little TV, a bathroom. It was, yeah. And I don't remember much, but what I do remember is, and now hearing things and seeing things since everything's been released, it's now like, oh my god, my memories are real. I'm not crazy like they said. I didn't imagine it. You know how easy it would be, how much easier for me it would be if I had imagined it. Real quick fix, go get medication. You know? I wish it wasn't real. I wish it wasn't real. But unfortunately, you know. I didn't escape until January 2023. And I didn't know those people were not related to me until October of 2024. I just thought I was the black sheep that was treated like shit. That was abused by them. And poisoned and rugged and everything else. And I was literally a slave. So. No, no. I ain't going nowhere. I just got dressed. That's all. Do I become enclosed in my pajamas? No, I'm not going anywhere. But, yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. But here's, for anyone to think that all the survivors have told their stories, or that all the names, for anyone to believe that the names of the survivors, the actual survivors, have been released, do you know how dangerous that would be for the survivors? For all the victims and the survivors? Do you know how many of them are taking their own lives? Morning. But people, I don't think that people understand. Like, for some people, they don't understand. Yeah. The real names are not being released, and not all the victims have told their stories, and not all the victims know that they're part of. That was, you know. Yeah. I'm not. I'm not saying anything. She's one of his fans, and she loves him, and that's wonderful. You know. let's not. Let's not try. Just, it's, no. We're not going to talk about Mallory. No, we're not. Okay? What people don't, there's things about Mallory that people don't understand. That I do. All I'm going to say is she lives with her parents and they take care of her. That's all I'm going to say. She doesn't leave home. She always has somebody with her. If you understand what I'm trying to say. She can't live on her own. From my understanding. And I've had conversations with her. Um, yeah, I don't have anything to do with Mallory, and I will not ever speak bad on her or anyone. Like, here's my question. You keep repeating, like, you know what's interesting? I just got reported for misinformation. Let me oh, we're gonna keep reporting me because you're trying to get me bananaed, right? That's what we're doing? Do you know how stupid that is? Especially since there's already all the evidence has come out. You are dumb as fuck. Let's see. There we go. So I'm gonna end this and start it back again. Because someone on here likes to, my stalker, they're on here trying to shut me up. I'm sure they've been paid to do it. Like it's been going on for the past 2 years. 3 years almost? Well, yeah, 3 years. So, I'll be right back. Come back and join. They're trying to get me bananaed. Which is the dumbest thing you can fucking do. When I've shown evidence. And my memories that I've talked about for a year, 2 years, whatever, are in the files that's been proven? Or is it because of what I just said about Mallory? Which has been proven as well. Mallory, if you are on here, I suggest you get off. Because you're, you do know that someone else watches my live a lot, right? I'll be back, guys. Give me a couple minutes, 2 minutes maybe. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll just give me a minute. Minutes, 2 minutes maybe. I'll be right back. Yeah. Yeah, it's so sad and pathetic. Hang on. You know, people will find me shit. Let's just fucking on. Well, someone kept mass reporting me for misinformation. You know. Yeah, I don't know if it was because I was talking about my memories and the files and who's involved, or if it was because something was said about someone else, and which what I said was true about her. Um, And that's when all of a sudden, when I was talking about her, I got two things saying I was reported for misinformation. Because somebody asked what I thought of her. It's okay. I'm sure she's on here on a I'm sure she's. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder. See, someone, whoever my stalker is, seems to be very childish, right? At times, right? I'm really, really wondering because why would someone come at me that doesn't know me unless it's because I'm very vocal about how I feel about Frankie? Man. Yeah. Oh no, more than Lord. Try obsessed. Never met him. She never met him. She's been a fan for 12 plus years. Uh, Obsessed is an understatement. But yeah, so I even had conversations with her. Was gonna be nice, buy her a ticket to his next show or whatever. But then she when you want to be disrespectful and talk shit about the man, I don't tolerate that. But because of how she is, I just said I'm not doing this, and I blocked her because I'm not doing this. I don't have competition. I mean, I mean, I'm not in competition with anybody, nor have I ever been in competition with anybody. I've made it abundantly clear how I feel about him. I don't know how he feels about me, but as long as he's happy, I know. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, yeah, and I remember nobody seems to know who this Amanda Jean Irwin Brown is. And that's who started harassing me to begin with back in 2023. Stay away from my man, blah, blah. Nobody in the Z-Mob knows who she is. So now I'm wondering. No, they've been coming out of the woodwork since 2023. So it was on a video that I duetted of him. And he was singing "How Do I Live Without You." Um, I'm seriously wondering. Yeah, because nobody knows who this Amanda Jean Irwin Brown is in the Z Mob, and you know, yeah. Lord have mercy. So if she is on here, I would like, to know what misinformation I said about her because it's all true. And you can ask the other members too of Zemo. Yeah. So, I just, it is what it is. And, Yeah. Um. Anywho, see, I've already dealt, like, I know like, to be in a relationship with someone like him, I know what to expect and everything, because I already have to deal with it. I've already been dealing with it for the past 2-3 years. So fuck it, why not? You know, I deal with jealousy from other women. I deal with a lot of shit, and it's to be expected. But it's like I'm dealing with the shit that I would be dealing with if I was in a relationship with him as it is. So I might as well be in a relationship with the man, right? I wish. I wish. I'm very vocal about how I feel about him. He knows how I feel about him because I've told him to his face. We've talked about it. And we've, flirting back and forth, but he flirts with everybody. You know. And I don't understand it. I don't do the jealousy thing. I'm not in competition with anybody, nor would I be in. I'm not going to put myself in competition with anybody. All that matters to me is he's happy, and, whoever he ends up with treats him right and makes him happy and takes care of him the way he should be taken care of, that kind of thing. And as long as they never hurt him, I don't care. They hurt him, I will rock the orange jumpsuit. I've made that abundantly clear several million times now. So, yeah. But his new song came out last night. Well, it was at midnight. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Like, maybe the feeling is wrong. I just feel like somebody is coming soon. I don't know if it would be today, tomorrow, next week. I don't know. And I don't know who it is. Or who they are. I don't know if it's one person, two person, three person. I don't know. You hear the song? It's my favorite song. It'd be my favorite song. Yeah. At least I got all my shit done that I needed to get done. Damn, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I'm tired of the burping shit, Because I get diverticulitis and it sucks. It's called For the Rest of My Life. Yeah. The song is not a video, but song.
Love was something I only heard in songs. I promised people maybe that somehow never stayed for long. But then you took my hand and said,
I'm gonna cry, damn it. Yeah.
Every wrong I ever carried led me right to this moment. You're the reason hope feels real, the calm inside my breath. And every step beside you feels like home I never had yet. For the rest of my life, I wanna dance with you. Slow fast through every season, every storm we walk through. You're the love I never dream of. You're the wish I never knew. And whoever has a heartbeat, baby, it beats for you. Turn my doubts to truth, and every future I imagine starts and ends with you. Take my hands and don't let go. Let's learn every step together. Even if the rhythm changes, I'll be with you through forever.
No, it's Frankie's Alfarino.
I wanna dance with you.
So fast through every season, every storm we walk through. You're the lover that I dream of. You're the vision that I know. Forever have a heartbeat, baby, it's for you. And when the years get heavy in their hair, turn silver gray, I'll hold you like I'm holding every miracle that stays. And if the music never fades, I'll still sway with my arms. 'Cause love with you's the rhythm that saved my heart for the rest of my life. It's only with you. In the quiet, in the sunlight, in the heartbreaks we get through. You're the love I dream of. You're the promise coming true. And if forever has a meaning, baby, mine is you. For the rest of my life, I'll dance with you. Damn it. It was just released at midnight. Yeah. The only person that has ever had this effect on me is him. Okay? Been in love with that man for 5 years. People say when I talk about him, my eyes light up, my face lights up. How did I meet him? Well, let's see. February 2021, I downloaded TikTok for the first time, and a week later, a couple of days to a week later, one of his videos came across my For You page, but it was on a scammer account. It wasn't his actual account, so it wasn't verified, nothing. As soon as as soon as the video popped up, and as soon as I saw him, I fell in love with him. I decided in 2020, December 2020, I would never fall in love. I would be single the rest of my life, never be with anyone. I turned into a nun, basically. And, I was gonna be single and celibate the rest of my life. 2 months later. And yeah, I had crushes, Johnny Depp, Channing Tatum, all that. But as soon as I saw him, the first thing I saw was his heart and his soul. And any attraction I had to anyone else went out the fucking window. And he was wearing a black hat with some writing on it turned backwards, a long sleeve tannish brownish shirt. He had his glasses on the front of him. And I think he was in a white room. He was sitting down, and I think he was wearing khaki pants, looked like khaki pants, top of them. And then he smiled. And then he started singing Build Me Up Buttercup. Not fast, but slowly. And I'm like, oh my god, who's this guy? He needs to be doing this for a career. This is what he was born to do. I had no fucking idea. So then a little research found out who he was. But I've been in love with him since the first time I ever laid eyes on him. And the first time we ever had a Zoom was, I think, in June of 2021. And I was so nervous. It's weird. It was a contest. I think he hasn't done one since. And from my understanding, he hasn't done one before like that. He said he was picking 12 people to have a Zoom with. You got to buy the ticket and all that. I bought one ticket. My name was picked number 8, and he chose 13 people. And it was supposed to be a 10-minute Zoom, and, well, lost track of time. It was a half-hour Zoom, and it was like we knew each other forever, and talking to somebody that I knew my whole life, I'm so comfortable talking to him. And then the first time we met in person was in November 12th, 2022, at Wings and Wishes. And, yeah. I even have a video that was sent to me a couple days later. Somebody, it's the best gift I could have ever asked for. That anybody could ever ask for. It was after the show, and I got up the courage to go talk to him finally. And, well, yeah. I've shown it on here many times. That I will always cherish that video, and I will always cherish every moment we've ever spent together. And then in April 2023, I finally got the courage to tell him how I felt. And when I went to tell him, I had the meet and greet with him, and then I went out and I was talking to the other women there, and I kept nagging at me. You need to tell him, you need to tell him, you need to tell him, you need to tell him. And so I went and one of the fans was coming out of the room. I'm like, excuse me, I forgot to tell Frankie something. Can I come in? He's like, yeah, come in. I went up to him, I'm like, never mind. He's like, he grabbed my hand. He grabbed me like right here. He's like, by my hand. He's like, no, tell me. He wouldn't let me go till I told him. And he just smiled ear to ear. And he's like, oh, but I want you to fall in love with somebody else because I want you to be happy. But I love you. Okay. And then Wings and Wishes 2023 was in October. And we had a brief moment at the fireworks because I DM'd him after the thing was over, when everybody was on the balcony and that, and I DM'd him. Fireworks were beautiful, and I was over at the corner, and there was everybody out on there. There was like 1,000 people there, plus the people that were the staff and that were there, the volunteers. So I was out there. And I was just looking up, I was at the balcony over in the corner area. And there were, and I'm just looking up at the fireworks, watching the fireworks, and I don't know, something just told me to look over. I look over like this. He has his camera like this. He was standing right there, watching the fireworks, had his phone putting up on the fireworks. I said, "Oh, fancy meeting you here." And he laughed, and I laughed. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to get video of the fireworks." So I was like, "Oh, okay." He turned to me, and he put his hand on my arm here, and smiled at each other. Before anything else could be said, someone came over and said he had to go take photos or whatnot. He's like, "Right now?" And she says, "Yeah." And he's like, he apologized, and he walked away, and that was that. You know? These are the kind patches. I still have to make a video for them. But I swear by the kind patches, they are amazing. They do work. Yeah. So yeah, these are just 4 of them. The sleeping ones work great. So. Because they're stupid. Here's the thing. I don't know why people think he's gay. But love is love. You know, but I can tell you he's not gay. Actually, one of the videos, like, I don't know how long ago, but one of his music videos has, I think, his first girlfriend in it. Is not, yeah, he's not gay. They say that about all the, male, what it is for some reason, people think that male dancers are gay. It's a bullshit stigma. Because of the costumes that he wears when he performs and in videos, and because he can dance and that. That's why they think he's gay. Like, that's the dumbest shit. You know? People have also said some people have accused me of stalking him. And if you ask him, he'll laugh at you and say that's absolutely ridiculous. Okay? Don't believe what people tell. Don't believe everything people say. I can guarantee you he's not. And even if he was, it wouldn't matter. As long as he's happy. But if you ask him, he'll never tell you. Because he's made videos about it. People saying, "Are you straight? Are you gay?" And he looks at, and it was this one sound. He just sat there, and then he goes, "I guess we'll never know." And then he starts dancing. But I don't know what the obsession is with why people are so worried about what his sexuality is or what anybody else's sexuality is. You know? It's more to life than that. And he's human. He can be with whoever the fuck he wants, just like everybody else. But no, he's not gay. And if he was, it wouldn't matter. As long as he's happy. You know? People think Prince was gay, and they think Michael Jackson was gay. Neither one were. All because the music they sing, they dance, they can dance, the clothes they wear. It's absolutely, it's fucking stupid. You know? I mean, who cares? Like, if he was gay, what would be the difference? Freddie Mercury was gay. You know? So, back to a different topic. I've been on an emotional roller coaster the past 5 days. Since finding this out, but mainly the past 2 days because it finally started sinking in about 2 days ago that it's all real. And then what I'm just like to find out that something like being in those files, and you find out by complete strangers online because your memories that you've talked about are in those things are listed in the files. It feels you're in disbelief. You know it's real and that, but it can't have you can't be in those files. It couldn't be you. It can't be you. You can't be one of the there's that's what you go through. And then it starts sinking in and it finally hits you. That you are and all your memories are fucking real. And then you ask somebody you've known who works in the government and you've known for 20 years, am I in the files? No, you're not in the files. I told you you're safe. Why are my memories in the files? That I've talked about, I've been told. That's why I was coming to talk to you in person, and I need to show you some things. Yeah. So, I'm still processing and dealing, and yeah, probably, but, see, I also found out he's part of that cult, so, and he's also a felon, so, but because I've known him for 20 years, they know that he would be the one I would probably trust, so get close to me, right? The fact that there's a bounty on my head and everything else, whoever can get me shut up or whatnot, have everything they want beyond their wildest imagination. People paid to discredit me and everything else, and I'm not the only survivor they do it to. I'm not the only survivor that has had people paid, that people were paid to go after. I'm not the only one that has the most horrific things that have ever been said about anyone said about them. The survivors have. A lot of survivors have not come forward and have not talked about it because of it. Because I'm sure they've seen what myself and others have had to deal with. And we've already been through so much as it is. And for people to try and continuously re-traumatize us to shut us up or to take our own fucking lives is absolutely fucked up. for people to protect those monsters and that kind of thing instead of standing with the survivors and the victims and try and help us get justice, which is what we deserve. The monsters get protected. The reason victims don't talk is because we're not believed. But the ones that have talked, like myself, we took that risk. We took that chance. Because we know it sounds completely crazy. But then the Epstein files come out, and guess what? Everything we've been saying is in the fucking files. I haven't read the files. I've been told. I don't want to read the files. I don't need to read the fucking files. I don't want to remember anything else. But I know I'm going to. And hearing about things and seeing things, and it's hard. I'm a very strong woman, and I'm stronger than most. The person, he told me that there have been victims. They've lost many victims. And that's why he told me I wasn't in the files. Not thinking that I would find out the way I did, I guess. And I told him I'm not going to do anything. I just need time to, it's fresh and I need to process it. Because what the protocol is, the victims are not told or notified or anything except in person. So with social media the way it is, and how big this case is, and everything else, how publicized it is, notifying all the victims, going and seeing the victims in person, the survivors of that in person, and notifying them, is getting harder for law enforcement in that to do before the people find out about this, like I did, finding out online that I'm in the fucking files. It's getting harder for them to notify all the victims before we find out we're in the fucking files and shit like that. And then and I've commented on some people's videos that have been talking about it and showing things and I've had there were a couple comments like so fucked up. But for anyone to think that they released all the victims' names or that all the victims gave their stories and that, you got another thing coming. There's so many victims that y'all don't. So many. And the majority, the ones that were not kept on the island, the ones like me, and there's so many that don't know. They just have bits and pieces of memories like I do. And then when they find out, think about how hard it would be to deal with it. So I'm dealing with it the best I can and coping with it the best I can and processing the best I can. That's the thing. I don't know. If you have memories that don't make sense or like I do, Um, and they're listed in the files, chances are. And here's another thing. All the victims are not going to be listed in those files. And I can guarantee you there's files that have not been released. Think about all the children, all these, when do people think that it all started? The Epstein thing. Do you think it started in the 90s? It started it started quite a while before that. Long before that. The Epstein files is just the tip of the iceberg. The elites that are listed, they're not the high up members. The really high members up, like I said, are middle class. They have houses, mortgages, they have normal jobs, they hide the money that they have. They will never change appearances like the celebrities do. They don't bring attention to themselves. Because how bad would it, what would happen if they did? Or if they were listed in those files? Do you really think that it stopped? That it's not still going on? It is. It's still continuing to this day. They're still doing it. For anyone to think that it stopped, it hasn't. It's still happening. The main characters, so to speak, are not in those files. The main characters, the highest members, are definitely not in those files. The leader is not in those files. But the main characters, the highest members in that, like I said, are middle class, normal lives, will appear to be the sweetest people on earth. Normal, they'll appear normal. But if you were to search their houses, you would find in their basement, or even maybe an attic, cages with children in them. You don't know who's involved. You have doctors, lawyers, teachers, principals, judges. So many people are in this cult. Not just the fucking elites. CPS, the foster kids. Think about how many people that have been foster care that have told about their abuse. This is far beyond anything, far beyond what you think, what anybody knows. It's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. There are houses throughout the country, and I'm pretty sure other countries, that have these tunnels in them, in the bedrooms. And the people don't live there, they just are taken there, it will seem like they live there. But it'll also seem like they travel a lot, possibly. But there will be no dresser, no children's clothing, but there will be a bed and a bunch of toys. And if it was like the room I was in, there would be landing. There will be stairs going up to a landing, and there will be a door. Behind that door, there will be a tunnel. And these homes are owned by the cult. When I was in that, I have scars on my upper right inner thigh from. They told me it was from jumping on the canopy bed because I supposedly took the top part off or whatever, unscrewed it, and then jumped on the bed and landed on the screw 3 times. Perfectly. Those scars are actually from cigarette burns. I've had nurses in that look. Because I've taken a picture and I've shown a nurse or a couple of medical personnel, and they said, no, those are most likely cigarette burns. Scars from cigarette burns. So, and then, with me, they've been putting substances in my body since the day they took me. When I was given the orange safety sucker. So, everything in those files is true. Please listen to the victims. Because we deserve justice. We're not lying. But a lot of people will have accused us of that. Look what's been going on with me. I'm not lying, and many of the victims, their stories being publicized like that, it is not going to happen. Thank you. Some victims won't even come forward that they know that they're survivors of that, and they will they'll remember everything, but they won't come forward because of what they've been through. I mean, y'all read files, so you know. My whole life has been a fucking lie. From who my family really is, to my actual identity, to everything. I've been free now for 3 years, and I'm still dealing with getting used to not being controlled. And, still getting used to the fact that I can do what I want without asking permission, or go where I want, or eat what I want without the fear of being punished. I'm still dealing with that. And it takes time to get used to, obviously, after so many years. After 40 plus years. every relationship I've ever been in was set up. And if it wasn't, and I actually started dating the guy before they ever met him, once they met him, things started changing. Things would start changing, and well, it wasn't for the good. It wasn't for the best. Like my ex-husband, my second ex-husband was obsessed with the Masons. He wanted to be a Mason so badly. My second ex-husband turns out he was gay. And, excuse me. Excuse me. He was obsessed with being a Mason, and Linda tried getting me to stay with him. Jesus Christ, excuse me. Sorry, I have diverticulitis, and it's, the whole gas thing. I burp a lot sometimes. I can't control it. This whole thing is I'm still having issues with it. It's going to take time for me to process it completely and that because I know there's more to come and fuck. I need a vacation. That's what I fucking need. I need to go to a island where there's a beach and the ocean and just the only people there, me, and that'd be nice for me and Frankie and just have some staff to like a bartender and a cook and that kind of thing, and just they disappear after they're done. No phones, just me and him. I wish. It'd be nice, but um, now we all know how CPS is, right? How they take children and even from good homes and that, right? Why do you think they're so hell bent on that and try and do everything they can to take children from good parents and trick them into relinquishing their rights in that? I wish. All my money is going to be saved for being going over there and for necessities. Um, I still have the GoFundMe up. I'm hoping that something comes about it to where I can. Um, it'll be easier because I don't know how long I'm gonna be there. But like I said, whether anybody helps anymore with the GoFundMe or not, which I appreciate from the bottom of my heart, the ones that have helped and have donated from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. It means the world to me. Um, I want so badly to prove who I really am and use my real name and reunite with my family, my real family. And because I can't get help from law enforcement or anybody here, well, we gotta go over there. At least the agencies over there that I've spoken to, they know about me, they know my existence, and they want to help me but can't because I'm here. So I gotta get over there. And I already got my ticket. So, to get over there, I reserved a room. It's a private room with a private bathroom in a home. It's like an Airbnb, you know. Yeah. Well, I gotta stay somewhere for while I'm over there. So I thought about a hostel, but because my arthritis and osteoporosis, that's not gonna work. And I need my privacy. Um, especially dealing with this. I can't be in a dorm with so many other people dealing with this. You know. So I got my ticket. I reserved the room. Um, they're gonna charge me for the room. Right before. They're gonna charge me in a couple months for the room. Clearly, I'm not saying when I'm leaving or anything. For obvious reasons. Um, but yeah. So, but if anyone feels drawn to help, the link is on my page. I gotta censor myself on here. I find it odd that I have to censor myself with some things, but not other things. It's like the only time I have to censor myself is when someone wants. It's not TikTok giving me warnings without somebody reporting me. So someone has been sitting on here quietly, like they were when I was live and had to restart it. Sitting on there quietly, just mass reporting me to get me to shut up. Which is the dumbest thing you could do now. Like I said. But I want to remind everybody, when did the Epstein files come out? When were they released? When did they find out about them? Exactly, nothing's gonna shut me up. Shit. Have you not? So, when were the files released? There's a reason I'm asking. Because about a year ago, not quite a year ago, I was very angry on the live one night because I started remembering things, like being kept in a cage and things like that. So I said, I predicted that everyone involved who hurt children, all the members, everyone, their worlds would come crashing down around them and go up in flames, and everything was going to be exposed. I said I predicted it was going to happen. Me saying I predict something is going to happen is just a fun way of me doing it. I just say what's going to happen, and look where we're at. Look where we're at, It seems like when I say things, they have a tendency to happen. And I've proved that multiple times. The most interesting thing is I would love to get a hold of one of their books and go through it. Not for reasons of what a lot of people would think. I am written in their book. My legal name is in their book. Of whatever it is that happened when I was a child. When I say whatever it is that happened is whatever caused me to survive them trying to sacrifice me. whatever I did, whatever happened, it's in their book. And they are scared of me. I'm the only one they're scared of, I think. And I have evidence of that too, and I've shown it. And I've told the story of how I found out. But see, what was it, a month ago? Maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. I had someone, one of the members from South Africa, started messaging me. Did not know who I was except the name Grace. And trying to recruit me, which a lot of them were doing. And I took screenshots of the whole conversation. Including his page. Now, he was trying to I was kidnapped too, and this and that. He said he was kidnapped in 1899 or something like that. And then changed it. Okay. And he's older than me, so it wouldn't have been 1999 either. Anyways, so that's what they do. They try to, when they try to recruit, they will play on the person's emotions and what they've gone through. They'll try and make it seem like they've gone through it as well. So I said, there's reasons why you're terrified of me and whatever it is. And he's like, no, Grace, I said, you know all about me and why there's reasons to be terrified. He's like, no, Grace, I don't know anything about you. I said, what do you know about Heather McCord? What's written in your book about her? That's my legal name. And that's when it very quickly changed to, I gotta go by. And I kept typing it, and he's like, I gotta go by. He blocked me, then unblocked me, and sent messages. I took screenshots of everything. I'm in Chicago now. So I've had an official unaliving threat by one of the members from South Africa after he found out what my actual legal what my legal name is, who I really am. And then after he said what he said, he blocked me. They can't do anything to me because they've tried. And they know I don't live in fear, and I refuse to let anyone or anything destroy me, including what happened to me in the past. But whatever it is that they're terrified of, I don't know what it is yet. I don't know what I did. I don't know what it is. I've just been told stories, and I don't know if what I was told is true. The person who's entwined with that cult, I told him, and he said it was most likely all true. So, that would be very interesting if it is. But whatever it is, if these first don't do the right thing and make every one of those motherfuckers pay for what they've done legally, if they are not going to get justice for the victims, I will do it myself. I don't know what that means yet, but they do. I can guarantee you they know. So, the government better get to arresting people and that kind of thing, because I am not going to put up with these monsters being protected and getting away with all the horrific shit that they've done. Especially when there's fucking evidence that's out now and proven. Oh, if we prosecute all of them, the system will collapse. Who the fuck cares? Let it. Let it all fucking collapse. We'll rebuild it and bigger and better than it ever was. And more where everyone is happy. And there's no being children being hurt and victimized. Let the fucking whole thing collapse. These motherfuckers, every last one of them, the ones in the files and the ones that are not, need to pay for everything they've fucking done. Because we deserve justice. And if I have to do it myself, by God, I'm gonna fucking do it. People will hear me talking about how I'm writing in their books, and then some will think I'm crazy. I don't give a fuck if you believe me or not. I don't. I'm the one person that these people are fucking terrified of. I don't know why. But I am. So they have options. Either they do the right thing, or they're going to deal with the consequences when the time comes. I'm not like the other survivors. I'm very different than other people. When I say very, I mean very, very, very different. I say things and they happen. I physically take pain away from people. I've done it for years. I just don't know how to get rid of it, and probably why I'm in so much pain all the time. I have animals, children drawn to me. I've been told my aura is a color that no one has ever had, which is a bluish, purplish, pinkish color. The most powerful cult in the world that rules the world is terrified of me. I wholeheartedly believe Linda is that leader, is the leader of that whole fucking group. And she showed she's scared of me. By things I've said. Well, I remember being taken to the temple. I don't know, I wasn't there, I was working. But telling me, yeah, great-grandpa, they sacrificed the firstborn, Billy. That was like in 1927. They call the police on me. If they, here's the thing, when it comes to me, they call the police and hide in locked buildings. Other people, when they want to take people out, they just take them out. They don't hide and call police on them. I've survived things that nobody else would. Like, back in 2012, I had C. diff, salmonella, and E. coli all at the same time. Years ago, I think it was 2007, 2008, I used to inject. The last time I did it, it was H, C, and M all combined. I didn't know that. And it was from the Mexican Mafia. And it was already pre-mixed and everything. I filled the whole thing and did it all. Got sick, ended up on the floor, got up, went in the bedroom, took a couple sleeping pills, went to bed, just woke up a day or two later, was just fine, never did it again. Back in 2020, nope, 2000 or 1999, I injected myself with over 600 units of insulin. I'm not diabetic. I woke up the next day and I was taken to the hospital. I was acting just fine. Doctors didn't believe it until they got my results back and my blood sugar was 23. When my ex drove on that military base, I was not wearing a seatbelt. And he pedaled to the metal. Wall went up, head on, ended up with 2 broken wrists, and it was just chipped off here and here, identical spots. Back in 1997 or 98, I was waiting at a bus stop to go to a friend's house because I had an argument with Joan and Jack. And so it was in the evening time, and this car pulls over, and it was the man. And he's like, "Hey, you want a ride?" I was like, "Well, I'm just waiting for the bus." He's like, "Oh, I don't know if they'll be here." And I was like, and I wanted to get out of there. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I get in the car, and at first everything was fine, and then he started asking me really, really inappropriate questions. Never touched me, but asked me really, really inappropriate questions, and I'm like, God, get me there. I need to get there. Something spiked me very, very quickly. But I stayed calm. Something told me, I can't explain it. So we get there, I get out of the car, I go in. I found out later on that the man that picked me up was a serial unaliver and had already unalived 2 or 3 girls around about my age and looked similar to me. And he didn't even touch me. I'm not like everybody else. I'm very different. I call myself a freak of nature. Everything that I've been through and everything, I'm still mentally together. Do I have anxiety at times? Yes. Do I have CPTSD? Obviously, but I'm very different. And these people hate me. And they're terrified. For whatever reason. I have been told that sometimes when, people have seen something in me. And one of 2 things happens when you look into my, when you get close enough to me and you look like here. One of 2 things will happen. You either become very drawn in and very, you want to be, Frankie, for example. I have the video to show it. You're either very drawn in that, or you become extremely terrified. Depending on are you on my good side or my bad side. But I am very, very different, and I don't know why. But like I said, if the government, FBI, CIA, all that, doesn't do their fucking job, and I'm not just talking about America either. If these agencies don't do their fucking jobs, well then I'm gonna have to get justice for all the victims. I don't know how yet, but like I said, they do. So yes, I'm a freak of nature. That would never hurt anybody. And here's the thing. As horrific as the things that I've gone through and others have gone through, I still don't hate anyone and I don't wish ill will on anyone. I want them to pay legally for what they've done. You know, I don't wish revenge. I don't condone violence. A lot of people said they deserve to have done to them what they did to me and others. What good would that do? Number one, two wrongs, and number two wrongs don't make a right. And when you wish revenge or you try and get revenge on people for what they did to you or what they did to others in a violent way instead of going through the proper procedures and doing it legally and that kind of thing, it makes you just as bad as them. And I know that sounds crazy, because look what the fuck they've done. And I don't know everything. I don't remember everything. There's a lot. There's a ton I don't remember, and I don't want to know. Because I have to remember when my brain allows me to remember. They need to pay for what they've done legally. I've seen a lot of videos of people wanting to go after them. I know it would make you feel better, but you say that. But here's the thing, and I've said that before. It's a way for me to cope. Sometimes I imagine things, and it's not good, but it's a good thing I don't condone violence and that kind of thing. Trust and believe. But truth is, you say that now, but if you actually did it, you wouldn't feel better. Because people that have hearts and souls and compassion and empathy in that, they would never feel better afterwards. They would think they did beforehand, but then afterwards they would be like, oh my god, why did I do this? Because I've considered it, and I'm like, I could never. Quite honestly, I hope that they all pay, they finally just get arrested and get put away. But here's the thing. I can guarantee you not all the files have been released, just a few of them. Because there's a lot. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of investigating that needs to still happen. And they need to still notify all the victims and talk to them in person and things like that. Excuse me. Jesus Christ, I hate this burping shit. But that's why they're like, let me ask y'all something. The ones that have read the files, are there victims in there by the name John Doe, Jane Doe number 1, number 2, that kind of thing? Do they have victims listed as John Does and Jane Does in the files? Yeah. If they have, that's why I'm like, when I saw that one comment on my video, I don't know, I mean, I've read all the files and all the names of the victims are there and they've given their stories. No, they're not. So, one thing people have to understand too is, even for me, as strong as I am in that, it is even hard for me to lately come on this app and scroll because of people making videos about it and talking about it and playing voice clips and showing pictures and videos, and it's hard to see that shit and hear it. And so, even with as strong as I am, it's hard for me. I can guarantee you it's so much harder for the ones that do remember when hearing this stuff and seeing this stuff. It's re traumatizing. You know? Oh, for fuck's sakes, hang on. Hello? Okay, God, I gotta mute. Because, yeah, hold on. I love it when scammers call. Hang on a minute. Actually, I'm not gonna mute it. Hold on.
Once the next round of policy changes hit, programs like this.
Yeah, they hung up. Potential scam. And watch what happens when I call back. It'll be someone from another country, or they will be using AI to disguise their voice. And by the way, AI has been around for a very long time. It's just now coming out the way it is. Let's see. Okay, where are y'all going that I'm not invited? Because I need a vacation. Just saying.
Not sorry, the number you have dialed has calling restrictions that have prevented the completion of your call. Announcement.
What? People are so stupid. Anyways. Bitch, you better be inviting me. I'm on you. Shit. I need a vacation, man. Especially after all this. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
McCord, this is Emily from Clear Path Services. I'll keep this brief, but it's important. Are you currently dealing with...
Repeatedly. I've never been either, as far as I know. What's next? 2 in a row. For fuck's sakes. So, I am doing my best to deal with it all. And, process it all. Doing my best to, anyway. but it is a little difficult dealing with it, and especially you come on, when I come on here and I see so many videos and stuff posted, and where people are showing pictures of things, and that it's difficult at times to, you know. And quite frankly, I don't think I can cry anymore because Jesus Christ, I'm tired of crying. Oh, I'm fucking tired of crying. So, um, yeah, I'm tired. It's physically, mentally, emotionally just fucking draining. Clear, like seriously, it is. And I kind of just wanna, to be honest, I'm considering doing something that I used to do, and that's just to just disappear. To be honest, I am considering disappearing, just walking away from everything and disappearing. So maybe it's time I do that. This isn't suicide and self-harm. God, that is the dumbest fucking shit. Because somebody says they want to disappear does not mean it's fucking suicide and self-harm. This is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever fucking heard. There is nothing wrong with my mental health, nor am I suicidal or the dumbest fucking shit. Because things get to the point where I want to disappear does not mean it's fucking suicide, you psychopath. Whoever's fucking reporting me. That is the dumbest fucking shit. Oh no, I got reported for suicide and self-harm and mental health. My thing is, people think that because I say I want to disappear, walk away from everything, means that. That is the fucking dumbest shit. Dumbest fucking shit. See, whoever's reporting me is trying to find any little thing to report me on. Because it's a way to get me banned and shut up. To the person that's doing it, you're not going to shut me up. I'm not going to stop talking. I may disappear for a while, but I will be back. Trust and believe. you might want to go back to the drawing board and decide what you're going to do next, because it ain't going to work with me. And I've had enough. So, now I'm irritated as fuck. So I think I'm going to end this for a while. And do what I'm going to do. And I will be, I'll be back on at some point, maybe. We'll see. Anyways, until next time, whenever that is, I'll see y'all later, and y'all have a great day.